I think I've counted as much as 36 new items. So I hope that will be enough to make this different for you. Hello everyone, welcome to our home again. I wanted to show you what I decided to do for a summer decor in our living room here. It is one of Norm's favorites. He says hello too. I hope you are all doing fine. We are okay, as usual. I wouldn't exactly say we're fine. At our age, we're lucky to be okay. I have done this color scheme before. I am sitting in the chair in the living room so you can see it for a change from a different vantage point. Crazy Peggy strikes again. Over here is a little wrought iron, I guess you consider it that because it's bent metal plant stand that I would definitely call vintage. Was on the floor next to the desk to the right of me where you could see it when you walked in through our front door. It's pretty low. I had large planters on it, like maybe 3 big swans in maybe at least 2 of our videos. I did try it out in the front entrance before I got the idea to put one of our bigger bookshelves out there, which I'm thrilled about now. I like that really well. But it's, like I probably just said, pretty low. I decided to put it up here. Now, it barely fits, as you can see. It fits just fine. I knew I could find some really fun things that we've thrifted to put on here to make it really interesting. I did thrift 2 new things. And it's the tiny little $1 salt or pepper. Probably a salt. It's got 2 holes in his head. Little tiny seahorse. But I had a video that I believe, yes, you got to see in a video, thrifting one, that I found this really sweet drip glaze pitcher. I'm going to call it a pitcher. I wanted to use it for a planter, and I decided to stick with some succulents. I also had thrifted that too. The little seahorse was from a thrift store that we had never been in, that's in Howard Lake, Minnesota. And I don't know if I've shared these sweet doves with you yet or not. And the cats you've seen in my Halloween video, I believe. They were little white cats. The other one is over here on the desk, right there, sitting up. I put the glass eyes in both of them. I just really like a little bit of fern there, and I do kind of have some theme, a little bit of theme going on with the splatter glaze over here. And this was just the other day, I found this piece very cheap in the Goodwill by our house. It has an odd design in the mold on both sides, so it is just a little dish of some kind. It's on both sides. So I had that there, and I continued, of course, with the orange cat. And this is in a video that I believe you have already seen, that I thrifted this adorable Scotty dog planter. So cheap. Well, I was thrilled. So I'm very happy about that. So I did decide to put the other orange kitty with him. So sorry, I'm spending a lot of time in this corner here. I thought I was going to be able to go pretty fast today, but I'm pretty enthused about some of the fun things that we found. On the shadow box, I just decided to use some of my turquoisey blue glass pieces with the orange ones. I didn't know if I would, just try to do more blue or more orange. It just kind of ended up this way. I'm perfectly satisfied with it, and I could have added milk glass pieces too. That's also something that would be interesting. Okay, let's go over in the corner and see this really fun, such a stylized horse lamp that Norm and I have never seen in any other store before that we recall. So that was at Father Time in Duluth, our big splurge for our anniversary trip. I love it. I like that it's a planter. I don't need to use it for a TV lamp. I just don't care about having cords everywhere. I think it's great for a planter. You've seen the two birds, and I did end up putting out all of my pieces of the bittersweet that we have. I think it's 5. I have 4 vases and 1 candy dish. That's all we have, and that's about all I've felt I could afford. Every time I look at a piece that's gorgeous, you have sticker shock by L.E. Smith. Orange slag glass, or bittersweet slag glass is what they call it. So I do have them peppered around here. I have one new thing over here. Do you have any idea what it is? The thing that I was thinking of that you haven't seen is a strange little pottery vase that's quite rough looking in my estimation. I would call it studio pottery. I can't recall if that's what it was even identified as. I think it was only, I don't know if I paid $5 for it or not. But there is an antique shop that's very fun in Pease, P-E-A-S-E, Minnesota. It is around the area of Princeton. And I bought several things there that I'm very excited about from him. This has a very tiny hole in the top, and it's quite an uneven hole. I don't know that you're going to be able to catch that. It's heavy. So I guess you can only call something like this like studio pottery. I don't know. I don't know if I even tried to look it up. But it was irresistible because I really wanted to find a few more turquoise pieces for the summer decor. Now this is new. It is beautiful. I'm not remembering where I found that. That is a red wing vase. I was so surprised. Isn't it pretty? It is square, round on the top, and some gold trim. Is that black in the middle? Yeah. Yep, it's black in the middle, but it is red wing. Yeah, I really love it. And it was pretty reasonable, I thought, for being a Red Wing. I was really surprised. No, I would not have paid a lot of money for it when I can find other pieces that would have worked just as well, but I got a real deal on it, and I'm sorry, I just don't recall. I hope I counted that vase because that is a new purchase, a very kooky one. Don't remember where I was, but I like it because it does go with the other California pieces that have the gold accents on them. I love weird vases like that one. So this is, yeah, kind of weird, but I like it. I think the orange, I didn't count the orange vase in the corner either. That's new. Yeah, I don't know where we were, but Norm, he liked it. I debated, and he said, yeah, why don't ya? Oh, we were probably down in Hastings. Yes, we were walking around the shops in Hastings a month ago or so. Yep, so that was my only purchase at a little shop, and I feel good giving a small shop like that some business, and it was really reasonable. Maybe like $8, you know, it was just really a good deal. I can't tell you if it's vintage or not. I don't know. I just thought it would fit in really nice with some of these vases. Now, this bird I thrifted, and it was in tough shape. I made a video of that and this bird that I thrifted recently. Norm spray painted that for me, white, because I wanted it modernized. It was ugly, in my opinion. Just, I think a hobbyist piece. I don't know, but I'm guessing it was. And that, no, that would not have been a hobbyist piece, but it was in very poor condition. And I really wanted a turquoise bird. So he spray painted it several coats to get more gloss on it. And he did a good job. I might make it even glossier yet, and this one could stand to be spray painted too, again with the clear coat gloss, and then it'll look more ceramic. So that is newly thrifted, and that was newly thrifted, but revamped. I wanted you to see this bird with gold trim, which I really love, but when I found it, it was painted on because they evidently felt the gold had worn off. So it's very, very dull gold, poorly done. I don't know how it would have gotten so worn off, but you can see that it's just a mess with gold painted over it here and there. It also had this fracture on the bottom. I will leave the sticker on it. It isn't, well, it's a Japan bird, so it's not a California bird. That makes me feel a little better. So it's just one odd bird that I found at the thrift stores. I'm very excited to have Norm spray paint this bird. And also, I just found this, I don't know, shorebird. I don't know if that's considered an egret or what. It is hobbyist, and so is this one. I've had that beautiful one for years. I'd love to have them the same, so I would really have to work hard to have it spray painted white first and then try to do something with the base in that same pearly turquoise that I showed you. I was looking for pearl white paint, spray paint, and I could not find any. I think I'm just gonna have Norm do him either white or turquoise. I don't have much in turquoise. So we'll see. what I decide. But I just wanted you to see it ahead of time. $4.99 for that is wonderful. I was pretty happy yesterday when I found it at our Goodwill. You've seen all of these items, so I'm not gonna go over them. I love these planters. I'm so grateful that I found a second one. Hi. A second one that is the same size, but very different. That is your weeping gold type of a glaze. And that too, definitely weeping, but I love those. So you will see those again if I do Halloween decor out here. So here's one of our vases of the bittersweet that I've shared with you many times, and it was a gift from my brother many, many years ago. Yes, many years ago. Okay, so you've seen, that is a repeat, of course, of what's over there. I happened to find two of those California pictures. I think they're fairly common. Yep. Before I go over here to talk about some new things, I'll just briefly show you what I did on the hearth. That is our tallest bittersweet vase, really tall and skinny. That was something Norm bought for me. It was probably the last piece. Oh, where was that? I think that was when we went for the first time to Big Dog's Treasures, kind of a thrifty type place that was way out in the country in Lafayette, Minnesota. I could not believe my eyes. It was so reasonable. It could be like 4 years ago, but she was marking everything 25% off, I believe, at the time, because she is closed now. It is closed. That one, I don't recall. It could have been the other one from my brother. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm starting to forget some of these things. I believe he gave us two. But I think that was no, I think it was that one over there in the corner. Yeah. I think Norm bought that one for me too. That cat was at the Goodwill just a few weeks ago. I thought it was adorable. I really like stylized things like that. So that was a very reasonable purchase. It will show up in one of my upcoming thrifting videos. I am way behind on my thrifting videos and antique stores too. That large pot down there, the turquoise one, I believe was my mom's. And it was at my brother's house. And that turquoise vase, maybe by Hull, he also had that too. Oh, and isn't this crazy? The turquoise flower stem. I found that, I believe that was at Hobby Lobby. This is going to be in an upcoming video from the Salvation Army close to our home, and it was $6.99. I can show you the leaves in the front and of course behind the record albums. I looked it up. There's quite a few of them. This is in mint condition. I didn't know where I was going to put it, but I'm thrilled that I finally decided to stash it underneath our little organ. It probably is meant to be, and they said you could use it for a magazine rack or record album. So there are two new things there. One of them was thrifted and one was a splurge. I just found this adorable llama planter. Look at the eyelashes. It's just so cute with the little circles all over him. It was so adorable, just really cheap, and of course a China item, brand new. This was from Antiques, Minnesota in Burnsville. We were there probably a month ago or so, and I was looking for turquoise things, of course, because I knew I was going to be doing this video, and this just jumped out at me. It was a splurge. It is Red Wing, and only one was there, but isn't it fun just having one? And I just decided to use one of my orange lucite candles in it, of course. I've had this for a long time. A viewer did write me when I showed, I have a green one too, kind of an olive green, identical. She thought it was a valuable Batosi. It is designed after the Batosi Trojan horse idea. His are probably bigger. So they did say that these are vintage, and I did find them, one of them at the thrift store a long time ago when I was looking for small horses. In particular, I was hoping to find Trojan horses. I love them. I just love that, all that design on them. So no, this is not, it's not cheap to buy on eBay, for instance, because they were done a while back in different colors. So I am glad that I did get them when I got them. But they are not extremely expensive Batosi pieces. They're just, they will say Batosi style horse, but I love it. So let me see if I can pick this up, the candle, and show you. I stuff paper towel or napkin inside of these things after I wash them because they retain their the moisture inside of that raw ceramic for quite a while, so that's why that's there. Sorry. Is that a date? Could be. 71? Maybe. I don't know. But, yep, it is Red Wing, and it's very speckled. I splurged on that, and I didn't buy much else that day. That was, I might have found 2 things, and Norm ended up with probably 4. Now, this is so fun. I thrifted this lamb, and I also made a little video of it. It was like a brown, dirty stain on it. Pale color, but then this really weird stain. It looked like a dirty lamb. That's what it looked like. Might be in a thrifting video coming up. I don't remember. Sometimes I go there and I don't record. But it was a couple months back, and Norm finally did spray paint it for me. I would like it shinier, so it looked more like, boy, it's heavy. Oh, there you go. I left that on $5.99. I probably put those, no, I didn't put those pads on there, I don't think. I don't know. But anyways, you see that stain? That's what it looked like. So it wasn't white at all. But here again, that pattern is just adorable. I could use it at Easter time too, but not necessary. I have enough cutesy sheep. So that is another new item there. Whenever we go to Hastings, I always try to get Norm to let me run in the Salvation Army that's there right in town, on the main drag through town. This is a pretty heavy lamb. It was $5.99, but I thought it was worth it. It's actually quite pearly, but I love the real mod design of the swirls. Oh, really heavy. So it's probably brand new. I haven't looked it up yet, but I thought it was a good deal and would be very fun for Easter next year. I may leave it out for something in the summer months too, just to show you. Well, I just used 2 different apps and neither one could find it. And this little vase, I love it. I had this one from several years prior that I've always really liked. Or pitcher, that would be probably called a pitcher. But this is, I don't know, Costa Mesa. Yeah, pottery. Don't know anything about it. It was irresistible. I got it for a really good price is at Princeton, Minnesota. There is a very nice shop that is like a country little store that you would consider more like out in farmland, and it's called K and K, the initials, K and K Collectibles, and I always find wonderful things there at great prices. So here again, I was still hoping to find a turquoise planter, which I believe that's what I bought there. Also, I know I got 1 or 2 little McCoy planters there from her and her husband. Very nice couple. We love going there and chatting with them. So that is 2 things there. Now, I decided to get this, I'd say a magazine rack. It has got holes in the back for hanging it on a wall. I honestly don't know if it's vintage, but I'm guessing it could be. I don't know. I didn't try to look it up, but it has 3 tiers. So I put some of your very retro Atomic Ranch, mid-century modern, DECOR magazines in there. So yeah, Norm and I think we picked that out for like maybe $12. I don't remember what store we were in. So you've seen all of these. I love my 2 turquoise planters that I use probably once a year. They were from Up Your Alley Vintage. I don't know, maybe they were $20 each? I didn't care. They were closing up and they were giving us discounts on things, and I absolutely loved them. I didn't have much turquoise at the time, but I was trying to build up a little bit of it. So you saw my thrifted horse already from the Goodwill, and this, I'm gonna have to go around the corner of this chair here. This is too far to reach. I just thrifted that. I found that, I think, at a Goodwill store. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's new. But I still thought it was neat. I'd like to see someday some faux bamboo in it. I do not own any faux bamboo plants right now, but that's what that design is. I just thought, wow, that is the perfect turquoise that I'm looking for. So I thought it was just great to use it for this video. Who knows how long I may keep it. If I find something more vintage someday, I probably would just give it back to the thrift store. But in the meantime, it worked good for a bookend. I could have put a little bit of greenery in there, but I just kind of kept this fairly simple. There's some greenery up on the top shelf that I'll show you. The mantle and the top shelf and the hearth is where I've ended up with most of the greenery. Now this was also a bit of a splurge. I think there was a sale going on. We were at the, is it 4th Street? I can't remember the number of the street. Antiques in Hastings, Minnesota, another one of our favorite places. And that is a beautiful vintage pottery, really unique vase with 2 different openings and heights there. I had looked at that vase for probably a year and just didn't break down to get it. It wasn't that bad a price for what it is, but when it ended up on sale, I decided to break down and get it then, and I'm glad I did. It's really very, very pretty. I forgot when I was on the other side that I came up with another project for Norm. He has been really thoughtful, and he just jumps right on it when I say, Norm, I'm getting ready to do the living room, but I have a special request for you. I don't know if you can figure out what it is by looking at this and the other rack that is identical over there with the very tall white bird on it. Does something look a little different to you? I told him that for a long time I've been trying to put placemats on these racks that have very open bars, lots of space in between them. And even with 2 vinyl placemats on them, things sometimes could still be wobbly. And if they had legs on them, the legs could actually start sinking into the soft vinyl placemat. I got to thinking that I had gotten the idea from the same problem out in the kitchen with the gold wire rack that we use out there all the time, and asked him if he couldn't make it look a lot prettier by putting 3 white laminate shelves cut to fit out there in the kitchen. And he did it right away, and that was maybe last winter, I guess. But I love it now. You can set anything on it, and I don't have to keep changing the placemats for the time of year. And it's just wonderful being white and matching the kitchen shelving. Well, I asked if we had any of these shelving boards sitting around the house, because we've changed these shelves a lot over the years. We've had wider ones down here, much wider, down low many years ago, and we've also changed the color of them, the wood grain. And you know that they actually keep changing it in the stores depending upon what's popular. Well, he went over to Menards to get this golden oak color, and I can't remember. I don't know where he found it, or found something in the house here that we had. I don't know. But this is actually 2 pieces. It's split right there. So it's just a little bit sticking out, a little bit further on both sides. front and back here, and it helps to cover up the books a little bit down below. But I know he was really having trouble finding that golden oak right now, so that was real disappointing. He said it was a very weird color that was over there. So that was a wonderful improvement, I think. They are not bolted together or anything. That is something he could do if he wanted to with some brackets of some sort, but we didn't really feel we needed to. So I am thrilled, and thank you again, Norm, for being so quick to do that for me. I am really, really happy to have that much surface and nothing falling through it anymore. I don't show up here high very often, but I'll walk back over here again just to show you that I change books often. So he put black books up there for me. He brought back up this very, very old for us to have these vintage horse planters that could have been bookends. I don't know, maybe they work fine for that, but I just like them for planters. They're very cool with speckly glaze on them. Bought them many, 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 many years ago when we first got interested in vintage pottery pieces, and especially because of the horse bookends that I started getting. So put the white horses up there. I doubt that they were here, of course, for spring. I didn't have any white out here. So there's more plant life, and of course it's not alive, you know that. And the same on the other side. Yep, sorry that I did forget about that improvement on the shelving. I was very excited to show you about that. I will try to go a little quicker. I just put those birds back up from, I don't know if I had them out for Valentine's Day or not, but I like the black sconces. I've thrifted both of them, and I probably found them at different times. I don't think I found the pair, but I did end up finding a second one that matched, and Norm had refreshed them with black paint. I have shared this before. I did stop for dinner for us, so it is now darker outside. So I did put some lights on in the living room here. I'm gonna put the light on too on this flower just to help you see a little bit more of what blue it is. I have kind of a golden orange one like this, where you typically can hang them up or just use it for tabletop. So I did share that one year when I had some blue out here. It does have the plastic stamen in there. These are the same as the poinsettias, the bouquets that are big poinsettias that we use at Christmas time, and also the holly bouquets. They also made these tabletop or wall type flowers too. So I do have some of that type of thing, but that's the only blue one I had. I thought it would be fun to have it up high enough to get some light on it from the window. This I probably showed again when I did this color scheme a year ago at least. I loved the turquoise, and I had bought it for a bedroom upstairs, which Norm has now turned into the western bedroom. So the doves had to come out and just be in storage until I could use them in this color scheme. I really think they're so sweet, such a beautiful color. That is a TV lamp, vintage California TV lamp. This was from our friend Trent. Sent me this lovely, it is a dish, a low, beautiful dish. I did share it shortly after he had sent it to us, but it's been up in my bedroom on my dresser where I have a lamp that's like that, It goes very nice. I have a black dresser scarf too, and lots of cats on my dresser. All my big cats are just sitting up there in storage, but I get to see them every day. And you have seen this before too. This was very reasonable from years ago. I found this sweet swan. It could even be a hobbyist. So I'm gonna sit down on the footstool so I can show you this really crazy dish down here. My sweet Royal Hager cat has been upstairs with all of his friends, all of my other cats, very large ones that I keep up there in my pink and orange bedroom, but since I was showing black with this video, I thought, I'd like to bring you out instead of waiting for Halloween. So I'm enjoying looking at him down here. And I found this where? Oh, boy, it's hard sometimes for me to pull these up in my mind. I always think I'm going to remember, but I don't. You know how much I like the orange ones and the green ones that I have put around the coffee table under the glass. This one, of course, is very, very long and it would not fit. Yeah, I don't know, wonder if we were in Hastings too when I saw this. Could be. But it is really wild, isn't it? Pretty long. Very unusual. Here again, sorry. I do that because of the moisture that I'm trying to get out of there. Don't want any of it to get on my tables, even though that is laminate. So this is the back, and there is, I'd say that is a hobbyist initials, and maybe 1978, or if it's upside down, it doesn't really look like that would be a 6 or something else. I'm going to say 1978. So yeah, this is not a California piece, but it's still fun. I still have the same planters up here. I just love them. This one is a little bit small compared to the one on the other side. Maybe someday I'll find something that is a little more balanced. It's not important. I balanced it with the length of the vines that I put in that one. It is a chartreuse green Miramar pot in a gold tone brass like hanger that is very cool. And I love my owl. I have shared it just about, I would think, in every living room video, and I can change whatever I set inside of there to have a candle in it or a little plant if I wanted. And so I kind of have that plant hanging down. It's a little bit further than this one, but this you've seen too. Some of you that are new probably haven't yet if you haven't gotten a chance to view any of our living room videos, but I found this at Wild Vintage Collective and just flipped over it. I pictured it, of course, in our picture window here. I had already gotten the owl. So that's shiny black and gold. Ugh, just could not believe my eyes. So that was a splurge at Wild Vintage Collective. And so here's the other bird and the other sconce. So let me sit down here and we'll talk about these briefly. So I went out to our shed and tried to find as many of the old McCoy, I would assume all of these are, pots that are mostly on the turquoise to teal side for color. These here two in the middle are more getting close to the teal. I don't know. I think I'd like to say that. Oh, I'm showing a little chip there. I should have turned that around. But that is a lovely pattern. These two I got at the same time, I think. They're very big, but they are a little lighter turquoise, which I prefer that color. And I did decide to put some orange succulent plants in there that I've had for a good couple years now. I believe I got them at Hobby Lobby. But yeah, I tried to keep these plants simple. So I think, is that called a peperomia? This is pretty pale. I hope you can tell that's a little there. I better get closer so you can really see the color difference. A lot paler. This one's getting a little bit on the bluer side, isn't it? And this one is a little bit more on the minty green side. I just did not have another pot that was about the size of that one. So I had to go with this one, crazy one. It's just a little bit mintier. So I think it all works well. I love those pots. I just think they're so quaint. I'm sorry, it's backlit. Okay, I'll probably keep the light on for over here. The two new things over here are the orange bird that I picked out in Duluth. And I forget where I decided to get the turquoise bird. I had the peach one for a long time, but you can see the wing is different. The turquoise bird is fancier. Yeah, I don't recall where we were, but I knew that I had that peach colored one, so I was happy to give it a buddy. And then I thought this would be perfect size wise to add to that with the white vase, planter. This is also very nubby, like the birds that are in the picture window, the white birds. This was from, well, the same maker. It is California pottery. The texture is the same. It's very, very bumpy. And I don't know that I've actually ever used it in a video. We purchased that many years ago. It might have been only like $8 or something like that, but it was in a video of the Antiques of the Midwest LLC in Wells, Minnesota. We have done, I think, several videos there. It's a really nice mall, but it's a long ways for us, so we haven't gotten back there in many years. So I do have two new things here on the shelving. I've always loved this little shelf since I found it many years back, but for some reason it's never gotten hung up anywhere other than where that first mallard is. There is a good sturdy screw in the wall there from having a heavier ring planter that had step-up pots in a limey green or chartreuse green. Was there. I've tried different things there, but I do like the set. It took me a while to find the whole set. I thrifted all of them, and it was just crazy that it took years, several years, to find all of them. I really like them, and I thrifted the swans, as many of you know that have been watching. Thank you so much to the new subscribers and viewers that we've gotten fairly recently. After doing my kitchen video, I was very happy to see some new names writing to me. That is so wonderful. I am very appreciative. Welcome, welcome, and I hope to see your name again. The horse on the top, I was so thrilled to find that in the basement of Antiques America. Is that the name of it? I think so. I always get it. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Antiques America. In Hinckley, Minnesota. They were having a sale in the basement. So I think I got that 20% off. It was very reasonable. So tiny and sweet. I was really, really thrilled. It was just the right color turquoise, and that's what I was looking for. But to find a little horse and a little planter, I really felt fortunate. I thought, oh man, that is just right up my alley, huh? And then I went to a thrift store. I had this funny little goose on the right for several years now. I found it at the Goodwill, and I was so shocked that they had in a cabinet, a locked cabinet, they had this other little goose on the left, and I thought, I'm sure that matches the one I have. I'm so sure. And yep, sure enough, get it home, and it was a match. That was so nice. I thrifted the little basket in there. I have mentioned that I love little solid colored pottery baskets like that, and I have a pink one now that I found, and that turquoise one, and I can't remember if I have another color, but every once in a while I see one in an antique store, which I just did. It was so sweet, and it was only $6, but I left it there. I don't know, I just sometimes I just don't want to spend the money, even though I think it's really great. My brother gave me that little pottery pair of quail. They're so cute, and I sometimes forget about them. When they're wrapped up and they're in bins full of birds, I just don't always think of them. I don't know what bin to put them in. A fall bin, a bird bin. I have bins that I try to make very specific so I can find things, but it's not always easy. And this was a very fun find. It does have turquoise on it, more turquoise on the other side than this side. But that was a fun little miniature picture. I thought I was doing the last thing here, and I just now looked over to the coffee table and didn't show you what's on the coffee table. Oh well. This beautiful bird was in a YouTube short. I found it also in Hastings. I don't know, has it been 2 years now? I was thrilled. We had gone just maybe a week ago to the Rusty Pick. I was thrifting up there at the Goodwill and a Family Pathways and trying to make some videos because I like that. Also in Waite Park there is the Salvage Sisters, which I talk about a lot. Purchased many wonderful, very retro things there. And at the Rusty Pick that we stopped at first, I have looked at this beautiful planter that I have one in olive green drip, and it doesn't have gold on it. I found that at Hunt and Gather in Edina years ago, and I do show that sometimes in the spring or fall because it's quite olive. But this is a fancier one, and the other one I have that you've seen is a big one in orange drip, more reds and oranges. So I've been eyeing this for at least a year or more in a cabinet. And I was always finding other things at the Rusty Pick and just didn't want to add that on to our bill. It is so pretty, and I was looking at it again, and Norm knew I was looking at it, and he thought it was very cool also. But I just kept saying, no. He said, you want me to go get their key? I said, no, don't bother. So I didn't get it anyways. I don't know how many days later that he said there was something there that he wished he had gotten, of course. He went back there and got what he had wanted to get, and I can't even remember what it was, but it was worth the trip for him. He got several things that he was happy about. And I'm sitting in the living room the next morning, and this was on the coffee table. I'm sitting there in the chair, and he's out in the kitchen probably making breakfast, and I said, I see something different here in the living room. How in the world did that get here? And he said, yeah, of course. He's always saying, yeah, I was wondering how long it would take you to see that. What a stinker. And yes, I absolutely love it. And it certainly pairs up so nice with this. Okay, last things over there on the coffee table. I'd just like to show you 2 new things there. I hope you're still awake. I didn't change over the large drip glaze pottery dishes underneath the glass here because the very pale drip that's on them almost gets into a turquoise shade. So I thought I would just leave them under the glass. I didn't want to change it to orange. I thought that it might be a little too much. I love this little tidbit tray. We found it a couple years ago. It is small, petite, so I decided it would be fun to put some orange slices on it, which I do like, and I wouldn't leave them exposed for days. They'd probably start melting here. If I was having company, yes, I wouldn't mind putting them out like this, but I definitely would put them away after they're gone. That is the 5th piece that I have shared many times of our bittersweet slag glass, and I had some taffy left over probably from Easter. So I did find some pretty turquoise and white ones in there, and orange. That is actually a pale orange. It's not yellow. Kind of looking yellow. But these are the 2 new items, and I've already forgotten where I found those. I'm sorry. I thought I would remember. Isn't that crazy? You know, a lot of times when you get home, your receipt doesn't really say exactly what it is. So if you're not logging everything, it's going to be too hard to remember sometimes. But I couldn't resist the pair because they were just the right colors. You know how much I love the orange drip, and now I have the picture up there that has the turquoise drip on it, and the little planter had some on it. So this is the 3rd piece that I can think of that I own with some turquoise and green drip glaze on it. But I thought they were just so funny. I have never seen that mold before. Most likely hobbyist, wouldn't you guess? Yeah, they were pretty reasonable, but I just can't think of where that was. My mind is full, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I get so long. I can't help it. I just really thoroughly enjoy these items and how much fun Norm and I have had finding them. I love that little plant stand up there. It's certainly heavy enough that it isn't gonna move anywhere. You'd have to hit it pretty hard to have any problem. I do have a big drip glaze pot, absolutely gigantic, biggest one I own, under there with some books in it, and I probably have shared that off and on with you too. It's kind of fun to fill up that space under there. Otherwise there'd probably be a cat laying under there. I could do that too. So thank you so much. Norm thanks you for your very kind support. We hope you stay well and have an absolutely wonderful August. And we hope you come back always. We appreciate you so much for writing to us. Such kind messages you send. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you guys. You have a great week ahead. See you soon.